Before we get to your game, Chris, to see Oscar come up after being out for a month and then performance in his first two at bats, what was that like? Like, what was it like watching him do that?
Oh, it was a blessing, man. Like I said out there, man, it's good to have him in good spirits and in good health. And he's a dang good player, man. We all learn from him. And I'm glad he had a heck of a game back, man. It's unbelievable. Good for him.
Were guys amazed by that, or was it just like, oh, that's Oscar?
That's what he do, man. That's what he do. I mean, a lot of people first time seeing him probably amazed, but seeing him every day, and that's what he does, man. He changed the games with one swing, and the day he did it with two.
Chris, we talked last week about the short success that this team has been seeing now, and now again, 2 home runs for you tonight, another win going into the biggest stretch for the ValleyCats, 27 games in 27 days. What's the mindset? How are you feeling in the box? How are you feeling behind the plate? How are the guys feeling?
Just another game, man. Stick to the routine and play ball every day. And like I said, man, just keep it simple. And it's a new day. Play ball.
When was your last multi-homer game, Chris?
I don't know, man. I was thinking about that not too long ago. I don't know, man. I don't know. It may be the first. Clyde said never, but I don't know, man. We played the game a long time, and I'd say probably in park ball, man. Probably, when I was a teenager or something like that. But I don't know. I got to go back and check it out, but I don't know, man.
How pleased are you to have a night like this, man? But now you'll kind of remember when you have 2 home runs?
No, it's a blessing, man. Me and the two-hand coach, JT and D-Rob, man, we've been putting a lot of work in the cages, and tonight it shows, man. And you know what I mean? But, tomorrow's a new day. Enjoy it now and start fresh tomorrow morning.
Their starter threw 125 pitches. As the game is going on and you see that pitch count continue to slowly rise, does that kind of give you more confidence going into a guy who's losing the freshness that he had after, 3-4 innings when he's up there in that pitch count?
Yeah, it's always good to keep seeing the same guy out there and not a new arm. And but then again, you got to stick with the same approach. No matter what happened in the last at bat, keep the same approach, keep it simple.
What were the pitches you homered off of, Chris?
I reckon the first one was the fastball, kind of up in the zone, and second one was a curveball, and it left it hang a little bit. So,
you that way, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you've been in indie ball for a while now, Greg. I mean, to see what Oscar did, misses a month with appendectomy and homers in his first two
certainly. I know sometimes you'll see that, whether it's the focus, the adrenaline, but he also had somebody that was absolutely excited to get back on that field today. He showed up early to hit. I actually threw BP to him today, so I don't know if I'll take the credit, but he had he was ready to go. He worked out hard all weekend, and certainly it was one of the things that and you talk about a time when we needed it. Tough first inning for us, and it wasn't the cleanest game for us. We've got to do a better job of finishing the game, and but we did some things offensively. Obviously, that first inning started with Broderick and Boyd getting big hits to give us a little bit of life. A tough first inning for Wes, a tough 8th inning there where we don't finish the 8th inning like we need to, but otherwise, then you followed up with the Reinach homer and Chris Burgess, who probably figured he better make a statement tonight because, he knows there was a man in waiting to come back, and Oscar, what a night for him.
Coach, like you mentioned, 5 home runs tonight for the team in total. What was it like to just watch that from the dugout?
I'll tell you what, surprising, and Mark would know with the way this ballpark plays, the flags were not blowing at all, and usually this ballpark plays a lot differently. And, and maybe, I've got to give credit, Jake, another opposite field homer, something he can do, and he's done several times this year. Chris's two homers left the ballpark in a hurry. But, the home run, not that our club's built around it, but on a night like tonight where you need some offense, what a difference maker.
When did you know that Oscar was going to be good to go today?
Last night. Yeah. Last night. We were back and forth. He worked out one more time on the off day. Got the go-ahead. We, thought 2 options was he comes to the ballpark today, does another day with the team, be ready to go tomorrow. But he was pretty clear he felt good, and we figured the DH was the best way to go.
Coach,
Just talk about how much he means to this team, both within the
Well,
lineup
he's
and just in the
been
dugout.
here a lot longer than I have, so he means more to the club than I do. So that's one of the things that and any time we talk about things. The roster deadline's coming up next week. You just saw the trade deadline and the big leagues go. But sometimes the best additions are the ones you already have at the on the club. Dylan Broderick, who came back to the club a couple weeks ago, had a nice night tonight. We've got Austin Dill, hopefully back with us here shortly. Arlo Marisnik joined us this weekend after missing 3 weeks, I think. So, sometimes the additions are the best ones you already have in house, and that was one with Oscar tonight.
Coach, Tommy Lawrence threw 125 pitches tonight for New Jersey. What was it like to watch him just continue to go out there and then have your guys continue to hammer him?
Well, I think you got to give credit. When you've got a starting pitcher that can give you innings on a night when the other team is scoring some runs, that's a valuable trait. So, my hat's off to Lawrence, and certainly that's something we, from time to time, you have to be able to do. So, and that was one of the things where obviously the Jackals were saving their bullpen. We didn't want to use an extra reliever in the ninth inning, but Nate had to come in and get some big outs for us.
Julian, a couple more hits tonight and a nice
Couple
catch
more
in the
hits.
center. Can you talk about what he's given you? Kind of a little bit of a surprise at all? Or?
Well, I'll tell you what. Coming out of camp, making this club, we weren't sure what Jake Reinich, the outfielder, was like, but we knew we needed somebody that could complement, with Javion's history a little bit with us and those kind of things. Somebody that could spell Javion from time to time. Knew somebody that we needed somebody to replace in defense. What you don't hear me talking about is the offense. And, he'll be the first one to tell you, his career going back to college and last year the Pioneer League will tell you, there's been some flashes of it, but all the credit goes to Julian and David Robinson. David is the hitting coach. While Julian was really playing that part-time role, I think he probably had less than 25 at-bats the first month and a half, 2 months. And they just continue to work and work and work. And the fruits of that, it is one of the biggest turnarounds I've saw from a player, in a long time. Probably in my career with what he's been able to do offensively.
Coach, we talked about it earlier today. The team's been playing well. How nice was it to come home and have an offensive day like this?
Yeah, on the night we knew we needed, and certainly, and not only we were counting on Wes giving us a good start. He's capable of giving yourself a chance to win. When the other team scores 3 runs, that can be tough to overcome. So tonight, of all nights, is the night we really needed. So,
With Burgess, would you have reacquired him if Oscar had not been out?
More than likely, no. I mean, what Rocco's done for this ball club, replacing Miguel Asuche, and I'll argue, that probably, and I said this to you, Asuche was arguably the most valuable player of this club, aside from Walters. And then, of course, when Oscar goes down, that flag probably got passed on to Ronco. And what Stevanovic has done for this club, nothing short of amazing, stepping in from, the USPBL where we acquired him. But, more than likely, carrying 3 catchers obviously is a luxury that, is tough to do sometimes. And right now we're gonna run with it and see where it all, probably plays out over the next few days.
Coach, is there going to be a tough way to end the season? 27 games in 27 days, along with 3 doubleheaders. Yeah. How can you guys stay composed through this rough schedule?
Well, I think it, we got to get better pitching in the beginning and at the end than we did tonight. And, we got to be able to, the clubs, no disrespect to the Jackals, but you've got some nights when, a game that starts that way tonight and finishes, there's some teams that we don't win that game. And so we've got to do that better.
Thank you, Coach.
Wow. Oh. They need you downstairs too.
I'm good to go.
So, you miss a month, Oscar, and then you come up and you hit home runs in your first 2 at bats. How'd you do it?
Well, first I'm gonna say thanks God. I've been now for a month. Obviously, I got a surgery. Thanks God I'm healthy, and I was able to be back on the field. It felt very nice to be back and also get up 2 home runs in my first 2 at bat after being out for a month.
What are we doing for the jersey?
Was this the plan, Oscar? Were you trying to swing for the fences in your first game back?
No, honestly, like I told the guys, I felt a little nervous because it's normal when you come back from an injury, feel like a little nervous, like, oh, I don't want to do like a kind of move to hurt myself again. But I just went to the home plate and compete, just trying to see the ball and hit the ball no matter how the ball goes. If I hit a homer, if I hit a single, I just went to the home plate and tried to hit the ball.
How satisfying is it for you to have a night like this in your first game back?
That's a blessing. That's a blessing, you know. Being out for a month and then first game and win 3 for 4 without a walk and then 2 homers. That's a blessing.
What did it feel like having your appendix out? Was it tough going through that and the recovery and everything?
Well, I just, I did my recovery pretty good. Obviously, felt a little bad, like, sore, and I was in the apartment, like, getting crazy because I want to be on the field, working, be with the guys, helping them. But thanks God, I'm healthy now. I'm back to help the team, to support the guys, like they see me as a captain.
When you were first announced, like for your first walk-up, what was it like to get that huge ovation from the fans?
It's like I say, it feels pretty good. It feels pretty good. I've been having a lot of support from the fans, and it feels so nice. My skin got and I just want to say thanks to all the fans because they, every day, no matter if we win or we lost, they've been there. That means a lot for us as a team.
How excited are you to be back with this group on the field now, especially stretch run? You're playing really good baseball and in the playoff hunt.
Well, yeah, to be honest, amazing because I know we have a really nice team and we almost at the playoff spot. So just trying to keep working hard, giving all 100% on the field and just try to make the playoff.
How about they bring Burgess back while you're out, and he comes back, he has 2 home runs tonight.
Yeah.
What's it like having him back in the clubhouse and the other,
Yeah, I mean, I like Burgess a lot, yeah. He's my friend, he's very, very friendly guy, not just with us, with the fans also. To me, it's a pretty good, I feel good, like he's back with us. Like, I enjoy being around him.
Thank you, Oscar.
Thanks very much.